Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, as they say sometimes around the world. This is the NewOaks AI podcast. I'm your host, Leland Best from Best Studios LLC, along with the CEO of NewOaks, Ray Luan, coming to you from Beijing. So nice to see
Hi,
you
everyone.
today, Ray. I hear things are going well over there today.
Yes,
World's a changing as always, so all kinds of crazy stuff to talk about today,
I know.
along with a lot of things. We're going to talk about the tariff imposed recently, calling it the tariff war on the world, you might say, around a lot of the
Yeah,
people that are talking about it, along
yeah.
with the power of product diversity and the official launch of EZsite version 2 out
Yeah.
on Product Hunt. So I'm excited to see that. I wanted to show off something that did just hit the market today, though, and this is pretty exciting, Ray. We were talking about it before the show. This is Corleo. If you haven't seen Corleo yet, this is Kawasaki's latest invention. Kind of replaces the dog robot model that was out. This may look like the dog robot. This is a hydrogen robot, but what you're going to find about this machine is a little bit different than just the dog. So I'm going to show you a little video here real quick, but this is what it
Hydrogen
is.
powered
Watch this thing.
robot that is a vehicle designed for
So it's basically a horse with legs that is operational. It's able to go through terrain. It can hop through. This is an example. This is obviously an AI generated sequence of what it's capable of. But when you see what they're going for here, this is radar enhanced. You've got terrain model in front of you. You've got full lighting and tracking capabilities on a four-legged vehicle that they are taunting will be able to take you just about anywhere. What do you think about that, Ray? Think it's going to be feasible?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's amazing. It's actually indicates that the era of robot and AI is really coming. It's really coming.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
amazing. It's better than the electricity powered, bus and robotic,
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
robotic dogs. I think it's much more powerful, and the speed and the view is amazing.
What's the
Yeah.
range
So
on one of those things? Have you heard, Ray? Because I haven't really investigated. Let me just take it back for a second. This was the video I actually wanted live as Memorex. Here we go. So this is a better view of what I was talking about here, where
yeah.
they're able to, transverse all kinds of different terrain with a four-legged vehicle versus legs, on wheels, obviously, which was the first rendition. And now we're talking about walking vehicles. So pretty cool.
Yeah, it reminds me of the movie Transformer, remember? So
Yeah,
I
they
think
did that.
everything on Transformer is coming to true, right?
I think so.
That's scary.
It is a little bit. So I might have to scrub a little bit of this video on a replay, but we'll see what we can do, Ray. I apologize if those videos didn't go the way we wanted them to, but that's the internet for us. So
Yeah,
let's go to Trump's tariff war. This was the news over here on CFO
yeah,
Dive the other morning. Trump's tariffs
yeah.
threaten global IT spending during the AI boom. So what kind
Mhm.
of effect do you see this having, Ray, being that you're on the other end of this?
Yeah, I think the Trump tariff war mainly impact the manufacturer, right? Most of the tariff is applied to manufacturer, and the end result, it doesn't matter. The I think the tariff war will not be ended in the very near future. It's going to last at least a couple of years, maybe 10 years. I don't know. And so the real impact is the inflation. The end result will be American and Chinese or Japanese. I mean, everyone in the world will experience inflation. It means the cost of everything will be increased dramatically because of the tariff. So I think that's a good thing for AI, for the boom of AI, because AI is the only way to reduce the cost in all different cost items for a business. So, and improve productivity, lower costs, reduce hiring. I mean, lay off people is definitely coming. So the only way I think, because you cannot put tariff on vibe coding or AI product. So the benefit is that I think every business owner need to immediately get into the AI for now without any hesitation. Don't ask
Yeah.
whether AI is safe. Don't ask anything. Just go learn it. It's the only way to survive the tariff war, from my perspective. There's no other way around.
And I can see why you would have that perspective, Ray. Being
Yeah.
on an end of a tariff that you guys are seeing an increase dramatically from your end when it comes to being able to ship products to the US. We've always had issue from our end on being able to ship products to a lot of countries. For instance, I have a friend in Thailand,
Yep.
very good friend, and if I
Yep.
wanted to send him a laptop computer that costs $500, there's a
Yep.
300% tariff in Thailand that would cost another
Wow. Wow.
$1,500 on top
Yep.
of the
Yep.
$500 in order for me to ship him a laptop that was made in the US because it wasn't
Yeah.
made in Thailand. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it is going to put up some barricades, I think, for a lot of people in various countries that are experiencing a difference in where they're sourcing American made products. But I
Yep.
truly believe that the difference here, and this is what I really feel Trump's trying to do, he's equaling the playing field. And what they've already seen is a lot of countries are looking to talk with Trump on coming up with no tariff so that there is an equal balance of trade back and forth between the countries rather than a deficit on one side versus the other. Let's argue, all right, well, we're going to tariff you instead of what you're doing to us already. Let's get the numbers more in balance, or let's drop them all together. And
Yeah.
I really believe that's his goal. I don't believe Trump has an idea that the entire country is going to run on tariffs. We all know that. Warren Buffett made some statements, and some people made claim that he was backing Trump's tariff laws. And
Heard of
yet
that.
that's not what Warren Buffett said at all.
Yeah.
He said it was somewhat of it could be a bargaining chip, but if it was held in place for too long, it can be a detriment. We saw what happened to the stock market. But keep in
Yep.
mind, the stock market is owned by very few percent of the American population. These are not business
Exactly.
owners. These are not,
Yeah.
the guys who are holding all the money in the stock market are the very few percent that are being hurt right now. So it's opening up a lot of opportunity for the middle class and the lower white class. So we have to think about it in different perspectives as we move into it. It's only a few weeks in, a day or two in, but the thoughts have been, in the arguments have been going on for weeks now. But let's see what happens. I honestly believe it's going to
Yeah.
work out on both sides. I think, China will lower their tariffs. US will lower their tariffs. It's going to be one
Yeah.
of those things where, okay, stop fighting over this stuff. It's just going to kill us all if we do
Yeah.
this. So we'll figure it out. I don't
Yeah.
think
I
so.
kind of agree with you that I think President Trump is using tariff war as a negotiation tool, right?
Yeah,
As a weapon to negotiate with all different countries
in a
so
way.
that everybody will lower down their tariff. Yeah, I would like to see, a world that without any tariff so
Yeah,
that
no
everybody
trade
can,
barriers.
yeah,
Free
no trade
trade,
barriers.
free trade was something that I think everybody really wanted to see, but it's never been a reality yet. There's all this talk
No.
about free trade, but it's never really been a
Yep.
reality. And that's where people, get lost in all the numbers. But there,
Yep.
there's other things going on too. We have to consider the fact that I think metals, precious metals, are going to play a big part in the change of what's coming. I think
Yep.
fiat currency has met its match over time, and with digital
Yep.
currencies making a big
Yep.
headway, along with the fact that you see the price of gold and silver skyrocketing right now to highs they've met in quite a while.
Well,
I
yeah,
think we're going to
the
see a big shift in the way it's monetized.
it's going to impact the power of American dollars because American dollars is not packed with gold anymore. It
Nope.
was there, there was no anchor for the dollar. So maybe the dollar needs a new anchor. We don't know what it is. Maybe digital currency, maybe oil. We don't know.
Could be anything.
And yeah, could be. So there's well, the only thing certain is the uncertainty. So
Yes. Yes. Well, we
that
just
that's
found a
my
bunch
view.
of we just found a bunch of lithium over here in the U.S. as well. It's like
Wow.
$86 billion worth of lithium in some
Wow.
underground lava containment under a volcano.
Yeah.
So it's like, sure, whatever. We never know when we're going to dig another hole and find something wonderful. So we'll just take it in that
Exactly.
way. All right.
Exactly.
So you're right, though. I think AI does have to take a big step forward from here on out because we've
Yeah.
talked about it enough, we've played with it enough. There's arguments going
Yeah.
back and forth, yet it's here to stay and it keeps moving forward. So why
Yeah.
should AI companies build more than one product when it comes to AI?
Yeah, great question, Leland. So that's the main topic we want to talk about. I think in the traditional SaaS era, because software has no standards, it costs too much to build a software. So all the different software companies can only build a point point product, which means that the product will solve a niche problem, right? Only one problem. For example, Notion, the product Notion can help you build a pretty and easy use document, but that's all. But in the era of AI, because of the power of autonomous coding and so-called vibe coding, which means that Andrew Kapasi actually from OpenAI, the chief scientist, chief research engineer from OpenAI, said he believes the best hard programming language is plain English, which means that the barrier of coding has been lowered dramatically, which means that everybody is able to build your own AI app, with one prompt, with one click, within 60 seconds. Then we, as an AI business, the point product will not satisfy the needs of our customers, the demand of our customers. Eventually the customer needs a solution composed of various of different products instead of only one product and solving one problem. The customer does not need a tool. The customers, from my understanding, need a solution, right? A turnkey solution. Just give him what he wants and he'll pay you. That's it. But the point products or single product definitely cannot solve the pain point of our business owners. So that's the idea that I think with the web coding come into work and make coding so easy, more and more AI business is going to create multiple products. So by the end, the solution composed of an array of different AI products. It forms a turnkey solution to help the business owners to solve their pain points. So I think that's the trend.
That's a good
What's your
point.
view
Well,
on that?
I wanted to ask you something about the fact that because we're going to bring up EZsite Builder, especially the newest version that you just came up with, V2.
Yeah.
And I myself, I build websites, I build automations, I build AI, but I'm not one to code a website. And when I mean that, I mean I don't build SaaS platform code. I don't build checkout box. I don't build shopping carts, any of that stuff. And that's what a lot of this brings to the table. How do you feel that people like me, are we really going to utilize these types of website to their fullest because we don't know code? Because even though we get code, we get a stack, we get everything we need to build the website, is that really what I want to do right now? Maybe not.
No.
Maybe not.
No.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to figure out what I'm seeing. We talked about replacing engineers completely with AI. But now Sam Altman's speaking out of the other side of his mouth already. He's saying, well, maybe Anthropic wasn't right. Maybe we'll just train a bunch of AI engineers from software engineers and make them better engineers and stronger engineers, faster engineers, the $6 million man story. So what do you think? Is everybody going to apply AI as an engineering tool? Like people think, like this website builder? I'm just trying to emphasize it, Ray, to
Yes.
here's what we're talking about.
I think what we talk about, what my perspective is that I think everybody is, because the hire of a human developer or engineer is so expensive, and it's going to be more expensive. So instead of hiring a human developer engineer, we are going to hire AI full stack engineer to build all different tools that we need, so that as a business owners, we do not need to build tools anymore. We just give orders, right? We figure out what we need in order to build a successful business, and I give the order to the different AI full stack engineers. So you utilize the AI to realize our ideas or dreams, right? Turn that into apps. So that's the way I think. With that said, I think every single business owner is going to own a fleet of AI engineers, including AI website builders, AI agency builders, marketing agency builders, or AI sales builders. So with a fleet of the AI employees, I think the future of the business is going to be like one solopreneur like you and and a lot of our peers will be able to build an AI business, AI company, right? To run an AI company, the company is composed of a lot of AI engineers to work for the owners and build all different products. So I think that eventually the AI is not going to replace humans, but will empower humans, will enable us to do bigger things instead of, we spend 10 hours, a day, can only like build a registration or payment module of a website, right? So it creates leverage for the time, for our time and for our creativity as a human species. So I think that's the beauty. I don't think it's going to replace humans. It's going to replace the low capacity and the repetitive works or tasks.
The barrier for entry too. I think
Yep,
what I
exactly.
realize anyway as an older, I'm Gen X, okay? So there's a lot of young kids that are good at coding. They just are. They're kind of natural at it. They're born with computers in their hands and they're born on laptops and things like that. So, they're into gaming and everything that already has a lot of AI influence in it as it is. So for them, it's kind of second, nature. It's not a big thing for them. They just take to it. They're into it. They love doing it. And it's something, kind of second nature, like I said. But for us older folks, it's not necessarily second nature, but we see how much we're able to improve our skill set and be able to say, hey, maybe I can do that. I wasn't sure if I could, but after looking at it for a little while, I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I can throw that together. Do I want to spend all the time doing that? No, but like you said, I could probably hire a kid now for 25-year-old at a much lower rate that could still do the same type of job if I put my trust in him and give him the tools that he needs to work with. So, yeah, I fully agree that the world of engineering software is definitely changing. SaaS is kind of molding into something else, and I'm not going to try and guess what that is yet because it's still evolving, and I want to know what it's going to be. All right, let's get on to the NewOaks updates before we run out of time, but I will touch on the fact that we will get to EZsite.ai here at the end of the run. So just a couple announcements over at NewOaks, actually, with the new OpenRouter feature. That's just another plug for getting access to DeepSeek, OpenAI, and the Claude API keys to unified integration. So that one's just down in the selection set where you can pick whichever model you want to use. Now you can also use the OpenRouter. So that's really the only big improvement that's been happening over at NewOaks, right?
Yeah, that's for next week. Yeah.
Aren't we kind of boxed in there? How's NewOaks as a product? Do you feel that you have developed now a well-rounded product that doesn't need a whole lot of future feature sets added to it, where it's kind of just work on
Well,
stability and keep it running solid and make sure it works?
for for NewOaks, I think it's a mature product with all the necessary features. The core features are already. But with that said, we are still keep adding more features on NewOaks. But let's keep it running for a while and then see what's really needed. I don't want to pile a lot of like useless features so it makes it too complicated. But I want to build. NewOaks is our foundation product. It's our flagship product, and we're gonna build a product array around NewOaks. For example, EZsite. EZsite is a website or app builder. It's kind of like help the NewOaks customers to make further step to be able to build their own app and also use NewOaks chatbot or agent to do the automation. So I think my vision is that we are going to build a series of products around NewOaks, including EZsite, and we'll keep launching new product probably every month from from now on.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
but all the products will have a same theme, is to automate sales funnel and to bring AI to business owners, so to make their life easier. So that's the vision. So we're going to build our product around that vision, but everything is about use AI to automate a business process.
That's awesome. All right, so let's
Yeah.
get in. We got the last 10 minutes here kind of to talk about EZsite AI. So I'm just going to take us over to the website while Ray gives us a little rundown of what we can do with the latest feature set. So kind of walk us through, Ray. What's going on here?
Yeah, so what you see is the main web page of EZsite. You can actually just enter a prompt or so there are two ways to build a website. Okay, one way, if you know what you want to build, just write a prompt. Say I want to build a SaaS landing page or lead landing page. That's one thing. But the other thing is that you can build website with clone clone an image of your target website competitors and upload the screenshot, and then the AI will generate a website immediately.
Nice.
So there are two ways working it out. If you know what you want to build, just write the prompt. But if you do not know what you want to build, which is most of the cases for the first time app builders, just put in a screenshot or image of your competitor's website or your target website and use that to build a copy. So I think that's a lot easier than come up with your own thought.
Gotcha. So, Ray, let me ask you a question. If I'm in the middle of something like this and I have to break away, what happens to the system if I stop it in mid-process? Does it just stop and wait to start over the next time you come back, or does it have an error catch, or what really happens here if I were to just close the window? Would it just keep going, keep generating whatever website I was
No, if you
building?
close the window, it will probably stop. But if you do not, you don't. But actually, you can leave the window and open another tab,
Yeah,
starting
sure. I was going to
your
do
work.
that anyway.
Yeah,
Yep. I was just curious if there was something there that would break if we were to close it. So then let's
yeah,
get to where we were at. If I go into
yeah,
my projects, this is what I
yeah,
see as the entry point,
yeah,
and that includes the community templates that are already available. And I loved this
yeah.
one. I was looking at this one earlier today with the universe model. This was really
Yeah.
cool. I thought that was
Wow, that's
spectacular. You can click on
exactly.
it and get ideas and get the data on each of the planets and everything. I was like, this is too cool. Who came up with this? So there's
Yeah, I built it with one prompt, believe it or not,
you
just one
did?
prompt.
Really? That was
Yeah,
yours? That's awesome. I love it.
yeah,
And then you
yeah,
did the blackjack game. We saw the the Avenger assembly
yeah,
that you had from there, the ensemble,
mhm,
whatever they want to call it.
yeah,
PUBG's got some stuff going on over here. I'm an old fan of that.
yeah,
So it looks like
yeah.
a lot of people are having fun. So if you make something, Ray, does it become public automatically, or do you have to share the template with someone?
Yeah, now only some members can share their own website as a template. So we are going to open that feature soon to everybody so that
Okay.
everyone can share their project as a template. Maybe we can highlight a couple of features that
Yeah, go
we
ahead.
add for 2.0. Yeah. So if you go to the settings, open up any project you have.
Any project? All right, the SaaS
Yeah,
landing
yeah,
page is probably still working, so let me back
yeah.
up from
Go
that.
to other project.
I had an AI agent website page I put together
Yeah,
just the other
yeah.
day.
Okay. So go to the right corner. There's a database. I think that's the biggest one. No, up.
Oh,
Go,
right here, yes,
go
yes.
up. Yeah. So we have, yeah. So the step of building website is that your first prompt only build a front end website, right? Without a back end. So after you use your first prompt build a front end website, and then the next step, if you want to go further, for example, record any data or files or images to this specific website, you probably
Mm-hmm.
want to enable database. So, and the beauty of this database is one of our competitive edge is that we not only integrate with Supabase, which is a powerful open source
Yeah,
database, we also build in our own like EZsite core database, which means that you do not need to anything about SQL Server or the database language to operate the data and retrieve data or insert data to the website. Just
very cool.
say use EZsite database and everything will be set. For example,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to create a sign up or sign in form, just say enable the database and say create sign up, sign in. So the AI will automatically add a registration module
Mm-hmm.
with verification process automatically. One prompt, it's done.
Wow,
Yeah, so that
that's
way you
pretty
do not
cool.
need to, yeah, yeah. And
That
also,
saves a lot of time.
yep, if you want to create a lead capture form, say contact information and after the user enter their email, phone number, usernames, and the data will be saved to the database automatically without need your any worries about how to create and manage the database, right?
That's so cool.
So that's the key feature. And also we are going to open up, integrate with other database like SQL Server. We already integrate PostgreSQL, but we're going to allow you to use your own database, because a lot of business owners, they don't like Supabase. They do not know how to use Supabase, but they already have their own
That's true.
database. So
Well,
yeah,
well,
so we're going to allow them.
Supabase, for those who aren't familiar with Supabase, it's really just a build over Postgres. It's a little different front end on it. They've kind of added a UI interface for
Exactly.
Postgres without having to
Yep.
use like Postgres 4 to open a database.
Yep.
But yeah, we've just recently, a friend of mine, Jim Hankins, and I were working on CribOps, which is a webhook interface that we're using for a lot of these AI builds that we're doing. We are now building specifically in Postgres. We have
Wow.
realized the need for very large database structure and what we want to build out for schema. So we are applying Postgres on the back end completely and fully, because you're talking a
Wow.
20-year-old platform that has probably the greatest stability out of any of the databases out there. And it is, like you mentioned, fully open source. So it's free to
Yep.
use. You don't have to pay for it. But there are a lot of
Yep.
plugins and other add-ons that are extensions for Postgres, and a lot of these other apps that can be used as well, that are coming into the limelight and are being applied in AI in ways that we didn't see coming. It was like, wow, we could be using this, and it's like, let's use it some more and
Exactly.
let's see what we can do with it. So kudos
Yep.
to you for throwing the database structure in there. I think it's huge, because now when you pull the database, then Ray, do you have to pull the code from two different sections of the build when you produce it, or is it all in the same stack on the back end of this?
It's all in the
Like,
same stack on the back end.
okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
All right, very cool.
Yep.
So what else we
Yep.
got? I got a whole list. Let me just run through these because we only got a couple of minutes. So
Yep.
just recently in the latest version of EZ2, we're looking at multi-image website generation. So just tell me a little bit about that before we go through the rest of the list, Ray. I think that sounds kind of
Well,
interesting.
yeah, you can copy a website by uploading an image or screenshots. And so now we allow you to upload 5 images to copy one, to make sure
Gotcha.
that the copied website is more accurate. So that's a feature.
But it has to be images of the site, not just the URL of the website that you want to duplicate.
Right. It has the image that about the site, the UI, mostly the UI, the layout.
Because I had some, I was just actually downloading a few for a friend of mine. I have them right here. And you said 5 images?
Yeah, you can upload
I have
up to
5
5
images
images.
right there. We had a glitch in the matrix there for a minute.
Yep.
Just hold tight. Okay, Ray, so just to cover the last few features, while our websites are building, we'll come back to the build from the images that we just put together. I uploaded 5 images into EZsite. Next week, we'll take a look at what it put together for us. But in the meantime, I have a list of 8 upgrades for EZsite 2 that are going to be available out at Product Hunt. Is the latest update is when, Ray? Today? Didn't it just go live today?
Product Hunt, yes. So we are currently have over 500 upvotes and ranked top 1 of the day. So hopefully we can keep that momentum.
We will do that. But the latest features will be not only the built-in user management, some flexible database options like Ray mentioned earlier. The built-in mini CRM will be exciting to see. That's where you'll be able to capture leads, look at the contacts and the flows that they're in on the platform, along with AI-driven SEO toolkit. What's that? Really? You're putting in an SEO toolkit? How's that work?
Well, it's we have the basics of SEO, so that you can, while the AI create a website, it also automatically creates a meta title and a meta description, and also your social media's graph title and graph description, so make it more SEO friendly. So that's
Awesome.
only the step 1 for SEO.
And then automated SMTP with resend support, powerful integrations like Stripe and 3D website elements, which we've seen in some of the template examples, along with a next-gen editing tools using Claude 3.7 Sonnet integration with the chain of thought logic. So that's going to give you real-time what you see, what you get editing. That's cool. That's what we've been waiting for, right?
Yep. So I think that Sonnet 3.7 give us a better result with train of thought, means that it thinks longer, and then it make the process of creating website a little bit longer than other competitors like Bolt or Lovable, but the results are much better. It's more stable, and the UIs and the features of the whole website is comes out better than previous
Makes
one.
sense.
So
I can only imagine. Well, the future of AI may be shaped by politics. Like we've said, Trump's tariffs might have an impact on hardware, software development, obviously, and the cost of AI moving forward. But if your business doesn't have it, you better get it because you don't want to be left behind this time around. This is just like the internet. This is just like telephones, honestly, when it comes right down to it. Going from telegram to telephone, we're going in a whole new direction. So EZsite 2.0 is now available. Head over to Product Hunt. Make sure you give Ray a good review after testing out the product, and subscribe, share, ring that bell. Make sure you come back next week, where we'll be here every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight, and over there on the other side of the world as well, where you can hang out with us at the NewOaks AI podcast. So once again, Ray, thanks for being here. We appreciate all your time as always, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Have a good week.
Thank you, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.